Welcome to Forever Exiled. I'm Justin, aka Tags.
And I'm Tyler, Wrecker of Days.
Like mid-talking, I realized it defaulted to the layout of really wide. And I wanted you up closer, you know?
What's wrong with that? Oh, wait, I can change that now.
What is this? 351
Hey,
Forever Exiled. Welcome. Big shout out to our Patreons. Thanks everybody who resubbed up this week. Patreon gets you access to After Dark. It's our podcast after the podcast. And we appreciate the support. Hi, friend. How's your week?
Hey, hermano.
Hey, hermano.
I must be having a foggy morning. You asked me how my week was?
Yeah.
I had a good week.
Okay.
That's it. No, it was a good week. Kids are done school.
Yep.
And man, award ceremonies. You feel so good for your kid if they get an award. I don't know what it's like for people anywhere else, but they give. It's not like when Justin went to his second son's award ceremony where it was like 8 hours long and they give awards to kids for breathing throughout the year, but they're still like 2 hours long.
Yeah. And it's funny. Sorry, just because I agree with you, but it's funny how you can see the difference between teachers because like one teacher will go up and at least half the class comes up. And then another teacher comes up and like 4 kids come up and I'm like, I want that teacher.
Yeah.
And
they were actually really good with that this year. And this year, the PE teacher even made a joke about, he was told that he had to keep his speech within a certain time limit. Like,
I already knew
the entire
that is.
award ceremony.
Because he does talk a lot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's like they give awards for kids that do like multiple sports.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and not well, just just be in them.
But it was so funny. My daughter, I don't know what makes her stand out to her teachers with everything else, but she got the Perseverance Award again for the year.
Oh, good for her.
She was so mad.
Oh,
because this year they started giving out plaques for some of like the bigger ones.
Yeah.
And she's like, Dad, I'm so tired of getting the Perseverance, right? The trying hard one. And I'm like, why? What's wrong? Like, so many kids try hard and your teachers, like, they chose you over all the other kids. Like, that's a big deal. She's like, Dad, it doesn't come with a plaque.
I think only band does, because it was like, how do I get student of the year and not a plaque or student of whatever she got? I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it was funny. And Oliver got the Citizenship Award for the year.
Oh, sweet.
And he was all happy, but he had that kind of like the same attitude. He's like, Dad, you're just supposed to be nice to people. I don't.
Yeah, that's true.
So it was so funny, the attitudes they came on with. But they were both like obviously happy too. But it was pretty funny. But we had a good week. They all did like all that fun stuff this week, like movies and a lake and just all that fun stuff. So it's been a really cool week. Today's the first day off, as it is, of course, for yours as well. And it begins now, man. Summertime.
Yep. Summertime.
Yeah, no, we had a good time. My mom came over. I was out with my sister-in-law, and we were getting our dogs together. They have a new puppy as well. And so we were getting our dogs together so they could practice being around each other and not idiots. Obviously, the idiot part was still there, but, it's good training nonetheless. And my mom came over. She asked, of course, ahead of time, but she came over ahead of time just to do some gardening for me. So I always feel weird when that happens. It doesn't happen often, but it's one of those things where it's like, someone else is doing the work that my wife and I could be doing in the garden, but she's just doing it to help out, right? That's how she gives. That's how she does gifts, is just by offering her work. And so it's funny. And my dog, being a barreling pile of idiot, after he sees my mom, just goes like sprinting towards her, super excited, but just completely knocks her over.
Oh no.
Like she can't do that anymore. So little things that I forget about and used to having a small dog, right? So anyway, awesome week, but nothing much to report. Dragged that on as long as I could for you, and it's still only 4 minutes in.
Well, mine's going to take us to maybe 6 minutes.
Things are good. How was your week?
Yeah, it was good. End of year, so it was a lot of dance recitals and I saw my niece graduate from high school, which was cool.
High school
work.
Niece.
I did.
That clicked late for me.
Yeah, a lot of work, and then played some Path of Exile. But the week was good. Like we did. Yeah, it's funny you were talking about like we had to go to an awards thing too. I don't know how teachers teach, because I'm sitting there going like, I'm gonna go tell that kid to shut up. because he's driving me nuts.
I wanted to like yell at the teachers for letting the kids get away with it for so long, but it's like the end of the year, right? They're probably just like,
well, they can't do much anyway. It's pretty sad.
47 and a half more hours.
Yeah, right.
47 and a half more hours.
No, anyway, we did that. I love dance recitals, going to my girls' dance recitals, so that was fun. And we're like, I don't know where we're at in Fringe, but we're working through the first season of Fringe.
Do you skip the intro? Because you shouldn't.
Why would you skip the intro?
Well, not the, like, you know how you can skip credits and stuff like that? Well, I don't know what it's like on totallyillegal.com, but on the other sites, you know, when they go and start like, you know, when like Game of Thrones had like a 10-hour intro where it's dun, 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 you could skip it. Mm-hmm. You don't skip that on illegal.com, do you?
I don't know what illegal.com is because I would never do illegal.com, but no, I would never. I watched the intro.
I wouldn't watch. That's like the worst site on the planet. I should probably, before I start quoting random sites, go and type it in. Oh my goodness, I can't believe Tyler goes here.
Yeah, that's definitely Tyler's site.
You don't skip that, do you? It's short and the song is awesome.
I like it. It also has stuff that sort of has come, I don't know, it's very, you know, I like stuff like that where you don't know everything that's happening.
With the triangle.
But it's also got 5 fingers, which took me a long time to notice. Because it comes up for such a short time. Also, the apple, there's little fetuses inside the apple. There's a flower with a bird on it. We just saw some butterfly stuff happen in one episode, and it's the same as this butterfly.
That butterfly episode's pretty memorable.
Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're going through that, and then I am on book 3 of Dungeon Crawler. They just get bigger and bigger.
Yeah,
it's
and more expensive and more expensive.
It's heavy. I don't know if they've got more expensive. I don't know if the price was much different, but it's just like I read in bed, so it's dangerous, man.
Yeah, I know you need like your shoulder brace on. You're like,
yeah, you're like really locked in, and you're like, don't fall asleep, don't fall asleep. Yeah. But no. Otherwise, the week it's been good. It's been really busy, and it's going to be really busy now. Like weekends coming up, I don't know what happened, but somehow weekends are just gross for the next little bit. So anyway,
in summer,
and then I played Path of Exile.
I have heard of Path of Exile. I too have played that game. What a coinky dink!
Huh, cool.
Sorry about that. Just had to deal with something quick. Did you notice the Alan Wake?
I did see that, and I was trying to figure out who put that there. Was that you at least? Good job. Nice job.
Oh, well, I mean,
what was there?
You know me, I like books, I like stories, but
nobody likes that one.
But this is the Alan Wake special edition. Sorry for you audio only listeners. I am showing Justin.
What's so special?
It's a book, right? Like this is the special edition case back when you bought things on disc and you open it up. Oh, wait. And then you open it up, and then that's where there's like a small little graphic novel, but then also a book style case for the CD.
Cool.
But it looks like a novel because it's about an author.
It's way better than that blue thing behind it. Come on.
Right? So anyway, sorry, I just wanted to, before we get into PoE talk, are you doing anything for Canada Day?
I might be working. I might be heading out to one of my offices.
Like on July 1st?
I know.
Isn't that like a sin or something? The 11th commandment?
Yeah, I'll say my prayers beforehand. No, but otherwise no, I don't have any plans. You? We're not July 1st people. We just chill.
We're party poopers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was thinking, so kids went out to one of the lakes. One of my kids went out to one of the lakes with their class. Like the whole school goes as a big year-end thing. And I'm like, he's like, oh, Violet, just like, they're just going to have snacks in PJs and watch a movie. He's like, I'd rather do that, even though like going to the lake. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you know what? Go. Like, it's not like we're going to go there anytime soon as a family kind of thing. So go and enjoy it, even if there's other things you'd rather do. And in my head, I'm like, we really don't go out of our way to do that kind of stuff. Like he really doesn't go that often. So we do have a busy summer, and for good reason, penny pinching summer too, right? Got ExileCon coming up. Got a camping trip that's just the 4 of us, and 2 trips to a Soyuz. Something else, but they're like the standard things, not New Zealand, of course, but we're like cutting down on the other things. But really got to make sure that we figure something out, you know, like actually do stuff. You know what I mean? So Canada Day, like, is a great time for that, right? If I suck it up a little bit more, it's already the 26th. That's like 5 days away, 6 days away. But
So what are you going to do then?
I don't know, like maybe there's a parade or something like that. The kids could be like, I'm too old for this, but we did
But
it.
just to get out and do something.
Yeah, maybe there's something going on at a fair or something. Anyway, stuff like that. Like every now and then there's like a fair in town with a Ferris wheel and all that. And I'm like,
sure.
I'm not on Facebook. I didn't know about it. You know what I mean? So
cool.
Anyway, but happy Canada Day to the entire world. Week, it's very important that you all feel loved on Canada Day. Today you've been Canada'd, so congratulations. And Walker, our newest patron, an extra special Canadian, happy Canada Day to you.
If you're not Canadian, you're extra welcome because
you are extra
we don't
Canadian.
Just give those
today.
Out for free.
Free passports.
Free. Have you seen our new passports?
Pardon me?
Have you seen the new Canadian passports?
I haven't.
They are actually pretty cool looking.
Are they?
Yeah, we just had to do.
I got
Christina
one when we went to LA, but that's a 10-year thing. So
yeah, we just did Christina's this year and all the kids. Mine was still good, but they're nice. They're like very fancy. Like that's what we're paying for. Okay, nice job. I see.
No, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we saw a buddy of ours when we went to go get the kids. A buddy of ours was at the greeting booth, and all business, just all business.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
You see the recognition in the eyes, but then it's like, hello, bonjour.
Serious, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Paperwork,
the
please.
Same thing. Except I was calling
standing
him
around
as he walked past. I was yelling at him.
Oh yeah? He wasn't in the front booth. He was in the front booth.
He was working with somebody, and we got pulled in with somebody else, and then he started to walk by. I was like, "Hey!"
That's funny.
He was walking with someone.
I always enjoy because you hear the comments about life at work, right, and what people, all the good and all the bad, and it's always fun when you actually see somebody at work going through it all, and you know what they're thinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's always
exactly.
Fun. Always fun. But yeah, anyway, thank you, everybody, for listening. Happy Canada Day to everybody, but especially 111% not congratulations. What do we say to people? Happy Canada Day to Walker.
Did you watch the Canada game? Canada and Switzerland game?
The Canada-Swiss one, yeah, I caught. I had to watch, unfortunately, the one I had to get the highlights on for the World Cup was the Qatar game where we won 6-0. But
it's a crazy game.
It was, and but it was really cool seeing the guy who broke his leg in the Qatar game getting cheered on in the Swiss game. It's nice for Canada to be able to move on. That's crazy. We're going to the knockout round, so looking forward to seeing that. I was able to see Brazil play, which it's not normally. I don't know, but I enjoy seeing them play. Even before I went to live there for a while, they were always a very exciting country to watch. And my favorite, Roberto Carlos, who obviously hasn't played in forever, but he's what really got me into that tier of the sport kind of thing, because so many, like that soccer is just one of those things where there's just an infinite amount of leagues with so much talent across the board, right? So pretty cool to see it all happen. I'm enjoying it. But it's nice how well the Canadian team plays in Vancouver as opposed to Toronto.
Take that, Toronto. In LA, though. How will they do in LA?
Yeah. Oh, well, it's pretty fun. I enjoy that. I mean, we talk about, like, as a Canucks fan in hockey, we always talk about like how other teams just don't get the struggles of travel, because the Canucks on the West Coast they have to travel so far, even just within their division, to like Edmonton and Calgary and LA and San Jose. Like it's just a lot of travel. Whereas when you're on the East Coast, all these like Jersey, New York, Toronto, Buffalo, Philly, like it's all super close together, right?
Right.
And so there's just that extra hurdle you have to deal with as somebody who plays on the Pacific Coast, especially Vancouver or Seattle. And I was thinking about that with the World Cup this week, because it's like, man, like they're going to go play down in Brazil and then they're going to go up and play in LA, and then they have something to do in Toronto. And it's like, that's quite the turnaround. That's quite the travel, right? So anyway, Did you watch it?
I did. Yep. Yeah, I find it quite cool watching the World Cup, thinking about the fact that it's going on in like 6 different cities at the same time. I just find that the organization behind that has to be insane.
Oh,
yeah.
I've seen some videos on how F1 teams deal with it.
Sure.
Like they send some of the parts to 3 races away, right? Because of how long it takes. And some of them are going by air, some of them going by ship. And of course, with the whole stuff going on with some of the wars and some straits being closed down, it's like, okay, well, now how do we do it and deal with it? And why some teams have done poorly in some weekends because their parts weren't ready because of some of the shenanigans going on with straits, all that kind of stuff. But then you do that for but you kind of have a system with it too, you know what I mean? Whereas you have the World Cup, which is once every 4 years. And you just, I started thinking about how, like what you said, how crazy that must be. And whoever it is, so far, it seems like on the front end that it's run crazy smooth.
Yeah, it's so good.
I'm very curious to see what's gone on in some of the communities. I know in the past, some World Cup situations, some of these countries have just gone and basically wiped out a favela to create more for the, the situation that they're preparing for the World Cup. And so there's a lot of tragic stories behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
From what I'm curious to see if anything would, if any new stadiums needed to be built for this. The World Cup kind of surprised me this year.
Yeah.
Busy with personal things this year. And so normally I'm on top of it. Just out of curiosity, not like it's important for me to know, but
yeah, it's just fun
to me.
Watch.
It is important to know. Yeah, I agree.
Anyway,
my lawn, Justin.
Yeah,
I got to figure out a way for my dog to piss on my driveway.
Change its food. Make some weird chemical thing happen inside of its stomach so that it doesn't ruin your lawn.
It's a lot of yellow.
Is it?
It's a lot.
You need it to go pee in that forest you're building on the left-hand side.
I could make that the pea lawn.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it. That's my lawn update. It would be green if I didn't have a puppy that I love dearly.
You just see all the spots.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of piss.
You know what's weird though? It changed as Chica got older, because that used to happen for us as well, and it doesn't. I don't know if it's something when they're puppies, when they're smaller. I don't know, something changes or.
Yeah, maybe.
I did not feed her the chemical stuff to make my lawn stay green.
You had a guy do it for you?
Obviously, yeah.
Cool.
Dropped her off and she came back clean as a whistle.
Well,
POE?
I, for one, did not intend to not talk about Path of Exile for so long because Je has muito to say.
Okay, good. What happened this week? I'm just looking through your notes real quick.
Well, they announced and released 0.4. So 0.5.4 came out this week.
Right.
They had a bunch of hot fixes for 0.3 after our episode, which is awesome.
Yep.
And then they had the announcement of 0.4, which dealt with a lot more end game touch-ups. And then released 0.4. And then they've had some hot fixes for that. And then their announcement, then they had 2 other announcements, which were... I'm calling it the Phorecia event again. I think it's Trials of the Ancients. No, Ancients
the
Ancestors.
PoE1 event,
the
right?
one on PoE 1 is starting up soon. And then they also have a pseudo announcement with the 0.4 announcement for Path 2 was that there's not going to be another big patch for a month.
And then it's going to be a 0.5.
Then it's going to be 0.5. But they didn't really say what 0.5 is going to be about. But that was actually really exciting for me with all the stuff that I can read into it. So,
what was the stuff you were reading into?
Well, people that have been listening to us for a while will know that the beta's just gone in the opposite direction that I was hoping for it to be. So, I would have preferred having what's been released is getting worked on and comes out, 1 act at a time, skills at a time, coming out. Then for the most part, it's just been the same ascendancies, same skills, and it's just been tough. Uninteresting to get through because the end game, though that's the focus, for me, I love the theory crafting of it. I love the options. So I'm disappointed. It's not really a criticism because at some point you have to make a choice. They made the choice. It's just different than what I would have voted for at the business table as well. The business table at the table as well. But I would have preferred, building from the beginning of the game back. They built from the back forward, and that's fine. It's just I haven't been the things that I am excited about, like ascendancies and skills. They're not all fleshed out yet, right? So looking forward to all of that. But to me now, like they've done their touch-ups, they've done the end game. Jonathan's focus since just prior to beta was officially released. Oh shoot, we really need people to play the end game. We really need there to be a good replayability for them at the end. And so that's just been a really big focus for them. And it seems like this, I wouldn't know any better. I'm just reading the post the same as everyone else. But it seems to me like, okay, we finally made these final tweaks to the end game that we've just recently really revamped and switched up, and how questing works and all this. It's like we've made this rewarding. It's now in a place where we think after some tweaks that this is good for you short term but long term. You know what I mean? You can play it. There's a good replayability. There's a good reason to play it. And now we can focus on something else. That's kind of what this seemed like. Like, you know what I mean? Okay, we've had 3 quick big patches, mostly end game oriented. And now we're going to take a month off. It's not a month off, of course, but it's like now we're taking that break from endgame and we're focusing on the other things. And that's how I read it. Whether that's coming out and releasing the new content like acts or ascendancies, or going back and kind of focusing on how the interaction of all these different skills, that kind of stuff. So that's how I read it. And that's the stuff that I've been hoping these last 2 years would have been about to begin with. So to me, I have a lot of excitement going forward for what's coming for the rest of beta.
I'm not sure.
Hoping it's coming out, hoping the things that interest me come out before 1.0.
I'm not sure that I wouldn't even be able to have much of a guess as to what that 0.5 is. And I think you had mentioned to me that they said that they were doing a market reset as well. Like it'll be a full reset like a league would be, which is fine. I think they should do whatever they want. But the thing that's interesting is that the 0.4 release, which was awesome, the 0.4 patch was so good. Yeah. And it has made Expedition, like now I get Expedition, like there's a purpose to it. There's a benefit to it. It's fun. They've made the remnants better, re-rolling remnants. But a lot of what they came out with in the 0.4 patch to me was like stuff that they surely just did not have time to finish for the release of 0.5, because like 0.5, I mean, this last league that came out, because they couldn't have been afterthoughts. Like it's a whole tree for the ruins of Uldur in the Atlas. There's a whole, I mean, maybe some of the things like the ability to re-roll remnants, which thank God they did that. It's amazing. But so it kind of feels like 0.4 was their catch up. Like they're finally, I agree with you to some degree. They finally caught up. I don't know for me if I'd be like, okay, they go like end game's fine. Let's focus on the other stuff. I'm curious to
short
see.
Term.
Sure. The thing that I'd be curious, I mean, I would rather them do that too, because I want more stuff. I want more characters. I want more ascensions. I want more weapon types for sure. Like melee is just very bleh right now. So like I want something.
You're basically just at maces and quarterstaffs. Yep. You have stuff on the tree for axes, and they don't exist in the game.
Swords
but yet
too.
There's some weapon types that are in the game that don't have, like, what is it, quarterstaffs? There's like nothing for quarterstaffs on the tree that's specific to quarterstaffs, if I remember correctly. But there's stuff for axes. Like with quarterstaffs, I believe it's just the tags of the skills that you can invest in. Whereas with axes, which aren't even in the game yet, there's axe-specific clusters.
Same with swords.
I mean? So, yeah. But to go quickly to your point, because I will forget it. For them to come out with the Runes of Uldur tree, we know everything that they're adding league-oriented is designed to be core at this point, right? Or that's always been the safe assumption, in my opinion. They don't have something on the Atlas passive tree for something that they know is going to be core. So whether it's because it wasn't ready, or they wanted to see what changes they needed to make to the league prior to adding it to the Atlas passive tree, whatever it is. Yeah, it's kind of like one of those like short-term check boxes where it's like, yeah, all right, we got it. We're comfortable with this now. You know,
and now they probably don't feel like they have to catch up. Now they've got time to actually move forward on whatever the future plan is. And I do think that Endgame's actually in a pretty decent spot for an early access. Like you have to remember, you can't compare Path of Exile 2 directly to Path of Exile 1, because Path of Exile 1 has like 13 years of content that's slowly built up over years to this monstrous endgame. So for me, PoE 2 actually has the end game is pretty good right now for early access, given that we're missing still so much. We're missing 2 acts, we're missing multiple classes, boatloads of ascendancies, tons of base types, massive amounts of skills and supports. Like there's so much that's still to come, that the end game for me is I'm still playing. I ended up making a 4th character after we did our stupid episode last week. That's a huge difference for me personally. Like that's not been an experience I've had in Path of Exile 2 yet. So the 0.4 patch was very exciting because I'd actually taken off like 3 or 4 days where I just didn't have time to play. And I hit like this spot. It always happens to me where I'm like, maybe it's time to play something else. I even looked, I was debating playing something else. And then they came out with the 0.4 patch. I was like, oh, okay, that actually, like I've said it in the past that Expedition was like, what am I doing? It doesn't make any sense. Now they completely switch it up and Expedition's freaking so much fun to play now. Tied in with the new Runes of Eldur changes. It's it just pulled me back in, which is not common for me, at least not in Path of Exile 2. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
I think I commented last week, but I know they made changes again. Expeditions kind of like, without all those extra modifier texts to pay attention to and make it a puzzle, you just see flags and you click,
put it down,
or you see a league mechanic and you're like, yep, let's include it. There's a couple times I didn't realize that an expedition thing was around, and maybe that's a compliment to that specific layout and level design. In retrospect, I wish I realized that and noted which level design it was, because you recognize an expedition if you're staring at the minimap. You see it all over the place. So the only reason I wouldn't have is if I'm not staring at the minimap. So that would have actually been one of my favorite layouts, maybe, because I wasn't not paying attention to the minimap, but I was trying to interact with the league mechanic, the runes. And I'm like,
why is it not starting?
And I'm like,
because it's not starting.
And I'm like, there's no warning or right.
Sure,
like, obviously they need to add that. That would be a glitch, but and it's not working. And all of a sudden I'm like, wait, there's another rune thing right there. And I'm like, oh yeah, cool. So just give me 2 secs here. I just gotta get the dog. You don't have to change anything. You haven't seen my dog, have you? Except on TV.
I maybe once there. I don't know, man. I'm not sure.
I know you don't care about other people's dogs.
I like dogs. I like your dog. I don't.
Yes, I do.
You don't. I do. I don't not.
I'm gonna
like
come
dogs.
by. I need to take my dog for a walk today. Yeah. I'm gonna walk by your house, but don't let your dog come out with my dog just because my dog's still like.
Okay, give me some heads up because I don't know if I'll be here, but
you'll be there. I know you're at home all day. You're gonna be playing Path of Exile. You're gonna
be
like, I can't. I just stepped out. Your car is gonna be there. I'm gonna hear you going like, mother ever, from your office window.
Yeah, that's right.
No, 10 minutes later, you all get the blue check marks from WhatsApp. You're like, oh, sorry, busy.
Sorry, busy. Yep.
Anyway,
yeah,
I like it. It's nice. It doesn't take me out of the experience, and I like it.
It's definitely simpler than it used to be, because you don't have to worry about stupid suffixes that are going to make you not able to do it.
It's like, nice. But like, I want them to, like, I don't know, we're not the only people, but that's so refreshing and peaceful and nice to add to your experience when you don't have to worry about stupid. You know what I mean? Whether it's the same thing with like enemy modifier combinations and that kind of thing with base types. You remove the stupid, and I'm not saying that in a derogatory way, but you remove the stuff that just is not going to be fun. That if you accidentally have this, or RNG works really against you, it's just a really unfun experience. And I don't get how, like, when you get back into the ascendancy conversation, which I'll just make this really quick, like, there's just a lot of stupid in the Trials of Chaos. Like, there's not one of those modifiers where you're like, oh, I'm really excited to pick this one. Like, some of them might coincidentally work well for you in terms of the stuff that you've had, but none of them are actually fun to play with or against. You know what I mean? So I was kind of hoping, like, eventually, like, this, like, okay, they've only kept the fun and they've removed all the negative from Expedition. Now let's spread that mentality, kind of like Hexbloom, you know? Spread it 3 meters away, all the way until it's impacted all your other stuff.
I played some Charles II this week, and I was doing them on purpose. But the thing is, like, I don't know if they mean it to be this way. It's just crazy that with six runes, or whatever idols, whatever they're called, runic altar things, with 6 good ones, specifically 6 decent ones.
You're talking relics, like,
relics,
honor resistance and stuff.
It becomes so much it's just weird to me, because like there's nothing that does that anywhere else. If you play Trials of Chaos, there's nothing you do to trivialize it besides your build just generally being stronger and being able to do more, which is not the same thing as me being able to fit in 6 or 7 relics and being able to just breeze through the Sekima things. I wonder if that's on purpose. Man, is it robot-y or like what's happening? I just wonder if that's on purpose. Like, are they? Is that the goal? I just feel like you're just making it way too hard for me at the beginning, and then you're trivializing it at the end, and it's like I don't get.
You're supposed to be excited at the opportunity to improve your character, not loathe the progress until
or skip it. Like I know a lot of people who skip it until they're way over leveled. Which is
that to me is just poor design. Nothing should be skipped and then saved for later.
Yeah.
It just, otherwise don't put it in at this point, right?
Yeah, I just find it was interesting as I was playing it, thinking like, man, this was just a chore when I first did it, and now I'm just breezing through. That being said, you can still get hit with like some of the worst options, and then some of them can completely break your run altogether because maybe you don't know what the reward or the risk is going to be if you click this one because some previous one removed it or something. But yeah, I took the easy way out on every single one of my characters to get my 4th ascension. Every single one of them, I just paid 2 divines and had somebody run me through it. Mostly just because Floof wasn't on whenever I wanted to get it done. But yeah, I don't know.
I wonder when the trial MOBA is coming up. MOBA? Is that what it is? Toda? No, but what kind of genre is that? We have roguelike. We have annoying.
Do people call it
Trials of Chaos?
Is it like what League of Legends is? That MOBA?
Well, League of Legends is about lanes, right? But it's same.
Well, that's what this is too.
No, well, this one's just all open. Like, there's no like designed area. Whereas like a MOBA would be like you have these lanes that you have to deal with.
What does MOBA even stand for? What does MOBA
Massively annoying with an O. Battle arena.
Hey, you got the last 2 right. Multiplayer online battle arena. So it's not a MOBA because it's not multiplayer. It's a single player. So how about SOBA?
Toda?
SOBA. Single player online battle arena. Nailed it. Anyway, I think that but if it's anything like what it was in PoE 1, it's the same as Sekima. It becomes better the more you play it because you get better stuff. That's better just a allies. Weird thing to have for that.
I want them to choose ARPG for 1, 2, and 3.
We got plenty of that. Let's bring something else in.
Well, they got the random part for Trials of Chaos.
Well, they fixed Delirious too. They made Delirious a bit better.
Yeah,
which was
I've actually come across. I get swarmed though. Like early on, when you start getting introduced to it, you can get shanked from behind pretty quick. And I'm still finding, no matter how far I've progressed with my characters, the lack of physical damage mitigation. Like I'm actually finding having it's just something that I want. I don't know what they want us to do about physical damage without armor, but like stacking stuff. You need, in my opinion, way more of like energy shield or life or other kinds of mitigation that seem like such a greater value than just an itty bitty amount of armor. But like I don't know, I've been theory crafting like crazy this week so much, and it all just comes down to armor. Like it's just so much easier playing with armor. I want to do all these other ideas, but like I even just unspec'd out of energy shield. I'm like, it's not worth it. Until I get crazy amounts of energy shield, but having 2,000, 3,000 energy shields just useless right now.
Is this the same character with the name CI in it?
Yeah, CI, awesome. MI. Now I'm not doing MI or CI. What character have you been playing?
Well, I made a 4th character. After I said I would not make a 4th character.
Hang on, pause. Let me see your shirt. I just saw the wizard ball. Pretty awesome.
And do you know why? I got it for Father's Day, and it all is because of Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, okay.
You know that one card? I'm a mother effing wizard.
Yeah. So
Christina knows I love it, so she
funny.
saw this shirt. So I said I wasn't going to make any more characters because I thought for sure I wasn't going to, and then I kept getting these items that said like that they affect plant damage. And I was like, what? I played Path of Exile for a little bit. I don't know what plant damage is. I have no idea what that is. So I did some research, did some reading.
Yep.
There's plant damage. There's plant skills.
Yes, there is.
Just so you know. Yes.
Yep.
They are in the, was it primal?
Primal.
Or prime? Yeah. So I thought check it out. May as well try it out, see what it's like. But I also found somebody that was, I've always wanted to see, okay, so I played Lich before. I played Lich last league, whatever the league was that the abyssal version of it came out, the like green version of the Lich. So I wanted to play that, and I saw somebody that had the plants with it. So I'm like, okay, I'll take a look at that. So I was playing plants, and I ascended. I did the Lich thing. I got the abyssal Lich version, which just basically makes, especially for what I was doing specifically, just your curse explosion is based off physical damage instead of chaos. Everything else is very similar on the tree, unless you're going into some of the other things that I wasn't touching. So it's not like I needed to go the abyssal Lich. It was just fun to do it. Also, thank you to whoever helped me with that, because I never even had to do the fight. You just went into somebody who was fighting Kulamak and clicked the button, and I had the ascension. So I started playing that. I struggled for a bit through it, and it was a more active play style, so I thought it'd be fun to try it out. And I did get it to end game. I ended up taking it to level 90, but as I'm playing through, like, I had fun trying to get it there. And I also like tried to time myself this time. I'm like, okay, all these people are like, oh, 3-hour, 4-hour campaign. I'm like, I am going to try, like, to the point where I was like, if I'm done, I'm logging off. I don't want the timer to count anything. I want to know what my total play time was.
Sure.
So, and I tried as hard as I could to make sure I prepped and all the stuff. It was still like, I think it was just under 8 hours. Like, and that's not bad. It's better than it used to be. Well, whatever. I had a fourth character. I got the character to 90, but then if I was like, oh, I want to start pushing that stuff, I want to try doing the other stuff, I'd go and do the harder stuff. And the clear wasn't terrible. It's a fun skill. Like, it's fun to, like, you're like throwing these vines out and then you're making them pop and using the thunderstorm one, and it was fun. But I was like, man, I could just walk through this if I went back to my monkey build. So I don't know if I spoiled myself by playing that, by having a character that's like really high level with like really good gear. And so I went back to that one. That one's now 96. And I just kept pushing more of the end game stuff, which was a lot of fun. And then I'm also playing now just to catch better beasts. And that's actually fun.
Okay.
So for some reason, I'm enjoying that. But then also this week, I got to play the 0.4 patch. So I hadn't even touched the ocean. This was my first foray into the ocean adventure, because I was like, well, I don't want to go in there. It's expedition stuff. There's no purpose to it. So now my ocean is expanded. So that was my week. What about you?
Cool. Oh, that's cool. It's been a lot of theory crafting. I have like 6-7 characters started, but again, like only one of them in maps. And it's just tier 1 maps. It's boring.
Build or what?
All of the builds, all my ideas, they're handcuffed between feeling required to do things because of how certain skills interact. But I can't.
Can you give me an example
of one?
Like that you mean?
Yeah, like I can't find a skill that is like a combination of skills that I actually want to do and enjoy. I keep coming up with ideas. I'm like, oh, this would be really cool to do. This would be cool to do. But I'm like, oh no, because of how this interacts with this, I feel like I have to do this, or I'm just like doing half the skill or half the ability. You know what I mean? And so, for example, I was doing ball lightning with living lightning attached to it, and then minion instability. And it's all great. Minion instability works great, but living lightning does absolutely no damage. There's no point to me casting it at all. Like, there's nothing, with the exception of keeping an enemy's energy shield down. It really does no damage. And my whole build was invested into doing damage for living lightning, and then minion instability was just the side damage, the bonus coin that would set off cast on minion death every 6-7 seconds. But like it was weak. So I'm like, okay, well now let's min-max this a bit. If I get rid of living lightning, what else is there? Now the build that I want to do, I always enjoy. I want something to do while my minions are running around. I like that. I like having something where I'm just holding it down. I'm doing something that's beneficial, whether it's a debuff, no matter what it is.
Sure.
But I keep running into things like, okay, well I could do a bleed build, right? And I could do bleed, but then it's just like there's no point having lots of things taking a bleed. It's just one hit because that's how bleed works, right? But that's the same with poison. To do more than that with poison requires a significant investment. To me, they're the same, but one has a 2-second duration, bleed has a 5-second duration, ignite has a 4-second duration, so I'm going to pick bleed, right? I could do ignite, I guess. The skeletons are already doing that. Okay. So, but there's just those kinds of things where it's like when I'm picking between my minions, with the exception of temporary minions, permanent minions, they're all the same. It's just which element do you want, right? Do you want fire? Do you want lightning? Do you want cold? Do you want physical? Okay. Like but it's the exact same experience. It's just you're picking your favorite color or your favorite element. And it's the same thing with dots right now. They all have, I mean, for some reason, the duration's a little bit different, but it's like, well, they don't stack. So you have, or there's no variety between them besides the element. It's physical dot, chaos dot, or fire dot, right? I guess you could do chaos with decaying hex as well. But it's just to me, like the variety is redundant. You know what I mean? It's almost doing the exact same thing. You're just picking your favorite color almost.
I see.
So I go through in different things and I'm like, well, you know what? Like I like having something to do. Minion instability is actually a lot of fun. I really like having my skill just naturally have the sockets increase because it comes from a weapon. I know that I'll be able to, I haven't actually gotten to that part of the game, but where you get like the tier 18 or 19 skill. I know the tier 20 ones are tough to get, right? The gem level 20 ones, but it's still fun to like hope and wait for that. But is that when the fifth socket unlocks, tier 20, or you get that before?
Well, the fifth socket, do you mean for a normal skill? Like a normal skill you put in? Because that's based on the perfect jeweler orb.
Yeah, no, I'm talking the skills that come on weapons.
Those are based on the quality of, are you talking about because the weapons that you have or the ones that you get from like an ascendancy? Because those are level based.
No, so the rattling scepter, the fourth support socket unlocks at, I forget what the item level is, but when it offers level 15 of that skill.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So that's when the fourth one unlocks.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know when the last one unlocks, whether they give it to you at 19 18, or if it has to be 20.
I can't imagine.
I like that where, you're not as desperate for specific resources to unlock everything. You know what I mean? I'm going to be aiming for level 20 rattling scepter anyway. So for the fact that I don't need a perfect jeweler's orb for that one, I can use it for another skill. I like all that combination of it all. I like that I don't know, just because like the skeletal warriors have more life than any zombie will ever have or any other minion, with the exception of a specter. I just kind of like, okay, well, if I'm doing minion instability, like that's who I have to go with. And they require so little spirit compared to anything else that would be comparable anyway. So I just kind of, like there's these ideas that I have that are handcuffed and it's like, okay, well, how do I want to invest my defense? I don't find energy shield worth it throughout the process, maybe eventually respecing to it, but I'm going to be in the process for a long time. So energy shield is out. I really like dealing with the whole armor situation, but I already don't have enough intelligence for my pure int skills. I don't have the resources when I'm going through the process of early maps to add strength to this as well. I still don't have my resist. I have like 20% lightning resist. I'm capped on the other two, but I can't find good enough gear with sockets to improve my lightning resist, despite having charms. The charms only work once or twice, and then I'm a chicken with my head cut off. So, and I know that's just RNG stuff, but the process to me, I don't have the gear to fly through the process. I'm having to play through the process. And so I'm just feeling a little handcuffed with how skills interact. So I've kind of bounced back and forth between, let's see. Flip Mike actually showed me a damaging support that I never would have discovered on my own because I don't really deal with war cries. And there's a skill called Corrupting Cry. There's 2 levels to it. and it adds corrupted blood to anybody you hit with a war cry. I don't know if it's technically a hit or not, but whatever. To everybody you've war cried, it adds corrupting blood. And so I was playing around a lot with that. And my idea with the different, like Smithic Kitava is an ascendancy I really like. But then the other one, what's the other one called?
Berserker.
No, the other one, I don't know. And anyway, that one has a notable that says ignoring the cooldown of your war cries. Which would be really cool because corrupting blood is actually one of those dots that does stack, right? And up to 10 times. So I'm like, oh, that'd be really cool if you can get the mana sustain for that. But, I don't like anything else in that ascendancy. So I'm like, ooh, that's a tough one. So then I started looking at all the other Warcry stuff. So I had a lot of fun doing that. I didn't end up actually starting the character, but that was a lot of fun to look into and discover. And then I'm going back. And so I've actually just recently respec'd. I spent all my gold, unfortunately. Changing my mind a couple of times, but I'm now at a point where I have to stick with this build to gain more gold. I respec'd into a weapon swapping build with my zombies. I'm using sacrifice, which, has to be used on both weapon sets. But I'm using zombies on one. And then I was hoping, what's that skill called? Infernal Legion, where the minions burn.
Yep.
I was hoping having enough fire resist and just keeping them there, and then using something like Frost Bomb and Elemental Weakness, and invested in that on the tree. I was hoping that maybe that would improve the Infernal Legion aura of igniting enough that it would actually be fun and comfortable to just let them stand out there and burn stuff while I just make sure that Elemental Weakness and Frost Bomb are being cast. Ended up being, I didn't expect it to. I was hoping to be surprised by it, but didn't do a lot of damage, of course. And empowered zombies are just so strong that it's really tough to just not use them. So I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between like having sacrifice, and then I'm holding down the zombie button, right? And then that's just on cast on minion death, makes Profane Bloom happen, and then I'm just naturally getting rid of corpses, and then all of a sudden I'm maxed out. And in a boss fight, it makes it even easier because it's just not casting it too much, right? So it's just permanent skeletons all the time, and that works out great. Another thing that I tried doing was adding, when I'm not casting skeletons, switching back and forth between detonate dead. So still the same setup where I have sacrifice and then cast on minion death with profane ritual. But how I get my skeletons is just by exploding them right away.
Yeah.
And then that creates profane ritual, which creates power charges. So then I go bang, 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 bang until I have no corpses left. And that's just for the ease of mind. Like I could easily pay attention to my power charge limit. But bang, 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 bang until I have no corpses left. And then I hold down zombies until there's nothing left to cast. And I go back and forth. And that's been kind of fun too.
Is this all on the Lich?
Yeah, because the other side of it, I'm weapon swapping. So I have weapon set A is all damage for minions, and weapon set B is all life for minions. So detonate dead is attached to weapon set 2. So everything that's exploding is scaling off of life, which is the way I want it. And I have resists on there too, so they're not dying before I make them explode. And then when I start casting zombies, which they're up anyway and already doing decent damage, but then when I'm casting zombies, then it switches to the damage side, right? And then the permanent tree has my paths to get there, but then also it's going to be curse investment. So on my Lich, it's mana regen, the fancy socket, and then the curse branch.
So I will say on the Lich, the freaking right side branch, it makes you so tanky if you combo it with things that let damage bypass energy shield.
Yeah.
Because then that's just straight up damage that disappears. It never happens because your life can't move.
I die a lot with that one just because I don't have enough energy shield yet.
Yeah, you do. You definitely need a lot of energy shield before you commit to it. I think my Lich had like 7,000, 7,500. Which made it a lot easier, but I also was purposely getting it to low life so that you get all the extra spell damage from Pain Attunement. But oh dang, you just said something. Weapon swapping. I have an issue with my beast guy that has a bunch of monkeys and companions out that I tried to make it so that if I weapon swap, because I don't really do anything, I throw out a mark here and there, but there's not much to do. But I was trying to use the parrying because you can. So I told you about that skill, the retrotide or something, where basically for the next 6 seconds you'll parry any blockable attack, any parryable attack. You're going to block it or parry it, and the benefit then is the enemy gets a percentage damage against them. Right? It's like, and you can scale that quite high based on the parry magnitude that you can get items and on the tree for. But when I tried doing it with a scepter and a shield, and everything looks correct, I go into the skill section, I check the spirit, and let's say I've got on my weapon set 1, let's say I've got 40 spirit left over, and on weapon set 2, I've got 37 spirit left over. If I swap to, so I'm on weapon set 1, I've got 40 spirit available to me. I swap to weapon set 2, which now shows me I have 37 available. Swap back to my weapon set 1. Now I have like 4 spirit available, and one of my companions is no longer out. And I cannot figure out, there has to be a bug or something
There's an issue.
happening.
I deal with something similar, different results because of different skills, but I've actually found that the game glitches out and sometimes does not cast auto skills or doesn't trigger the spirit reservation stuff properly. So
yeah, it's weird.
Sometimes I'll be casting stuff and profane ritual's not showing up, and it's on both weapon sets on cast on minion death, and it's not, and I have tons of stuff dying, and what I have to do is I have to go back into the screen where I'm dealing with my spirit, right, on controller, and maybe it's a controller thing, I don't know, and I have to basically I unclick,
and turn it back on.
A couple of the skills, I just modify them a little bit, and then I go back in and it's working fine. But that fixes it every time, but it's frustrating because you're going through an experience where you're wondering why you're weak, or you're wondering what's not going on, and it.
So for me with the companions, I can go into that where you manage your spirit, and the amount that shows as available spirit there does not match what it shows on the HUD. It will show me a different number of available spirit up in the window versus what shows down in the HUD for how much spirit I have. And toggling it doesn't do anything. But if I zone into a map, it all fixes itself until the next time I weapon swap, which really stinks because then what I ended up having to do was just, I'm still using, I'm just, you hold down Y on the controller to lock the things to both weapon sets. Yeah. And I'm still using my weapon set 2 tree, which is still big parry bonuses. And it, because I'm still using that same skill, because it's really, really good defense when I'm blocking a boss. And then it also makes my guys do way more damage. But I'm losing so much by not being allowed to have a buckler, to be pushing that parry even higher. The parry magnitude, which really stinks because I cannot figure out why. I've tried so many things. I was buying items to jack my spirit up. It just didn't matter. And every time I would swap, the amount left available just kept going down. But it wasn't actually bringing out my companion. So I gave up and just decided I'm just going to keep it on the single weapon swap.
That's frustrating.
And then the other thing I wrote down is you were talking about how you spent all your gold.
Yeah,
it's so funny the how different experiences are for people. I was talking in 2121 with people yesterday. I was like, what do I do with gold? I have,
that's funny.
I have 40 million gold, and I've been using it on these random, there's unique chests, right? That spin, and it goes all the way up to 2 million. I've run into a few of those. You get crap from them anyway, but I'm like, I don't know what to do with this gold. And so thankfully there are people in our community that are monstrously smart in this game, and so people did try to give me some help, which I very much appreciate. And I did write stuff down because I'm that stupid, and I reread what I wrote down, and I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I know.
I wonder if I can find it to tell you, just so you know, if you ever have too much gold, what you could do with it. Where did I put it? Maybe my computer deleted it to just keep me safe. But dang, that's actually too bad, because it was there's a lot of stuff in there. But it was basically all about how you can. No, I know. They told me how to use the gold, but then they were also trying to help me learn. Did you know you can get 5 modifier jewels, like with 5 modifiers on it, not through corrupting. Like there's a crafting way to do it. So, and again, very big thank you to everybody because I do appreciate it. I like learning about what people are doing, but I don't always understand it. But I'll never ever say that in the chat. I'll be like, oh yeah, totally, that makes sense. Good call, guys. I
Yeah,
do
yeah,
the same
yeah.
thing. They were talking about like you can use emotions to do something, and I was like, what? You gotta like, what do you mean emotions to do something? I do know that Delirious has these things that drop that are called emotions, I guess. I just always assumed they were only used for the anoint on the
Hmm.
neck. Apparently not. I don't know. So I was learning stuff in Global 2121, but yeah, I don't have anything to spend the gold on. They're all like, oh yeah, you could flip this and buy this and then you sell that, blah blah blah. You make this much div per something. But all right, on my way.
What's the soul self-found answer, please?
Well, so I guess with Soul Self-Found, you would probably gamble a lot of it.
Yeah.
I just don't want to. I found the drops have been decent, but I also like playing in trade. I love that I can
Yeah.
hit start, trade market. I'm lacking on this resist, and I have this piece of item to replace. So I never have to talk to another person. I don't have to communicate or interact. I just go and Ange is there, ready to sell it to me.
That's cool. Well, I mean, not that you don't have anything to spend it on, but it is funny. Yeah, I've just like been theory crafting, changing my mind and figuring things out. And I had 350,000 gold, and it cost me 200,000 to make my changes. And then, so even though I have, you know, a bit left, it's not enough to change my mind again.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent a lot of time making sure that one of my weapon swaps was going to be good enough.
Right.
It was part of my old idea so that if my primary one didn't work. So even though my primary idea was the skeleton staying alive and seeing if that could burn, I had to make them weapon set 2 because that's green. Green means alive and red means dead.
That is one thing actually that Path of Exile 2 is lacking a tiny bit when it comes to like playing as friends or with people you know, because in PoE 1, if you were struggling or trying to figure out redoing a build, at least myself, if I had been playing for a while, could give you regrets.
Buttload of regrets. Yeah.
And I don't need them, so you may as well use them. And you can't do that in PoE 2 because gold's not tradable, which I think maybe is fine. I don't totally understand why. Like, I don't really care why it isn't, but it does make it harder to try and help somebody if they're trying to respec.
Yeah. I don't mind the idea, just like regrets used to be the only way. I don't mind the idea of earning your respec and your ideas to change, but
you can hit a wall though real easy.
Oh, I definitely have.
Yeah.
But my walls have mostly been interest. But that's what gold is for. Like, okay, this sucks. This skill, I didn't know this skill was weak. I'm going to move on from it. Or I didn't know that this is how this skill interacted, or this is working the exact way that I thought it would, but it's not for me. You know what I mean? Or I find enemies run around too much, or this and that, right? Like I found like with zombies, just going pure zombies, I found it irritating in some situations because there's enemies that jump around and they're doing this, and I'm like trying to run over, so my zombies go here, zombies go there, and so much range damage. And it's not all the time, but it's, you know, just some situations, right? And then there's other times where it's other situations I'm like, okay, let's try and remedy that, but then I'm weak when I'm getting surrounded or something like that. So, and those aren't, that's not criticism, just here, there, me finding something that I like short term and long term. And so that's why I'm really looking forward to the 0.5 and beyond. Hopefully they're kind of looking at these interactions and maybe it just needs more skills, maybe it just needs more variety from the core concept or whatever it is, right? Like ball lightning, because it only interacts with fire infusions. I feel like I need fire infusions, you know what I mean? Like it's not, the theory crafting feels very funneled right away. So
I think it'll be interesting to find out what their direction is with 0.5 and beyond, because we had a story, whatever they're called, the little clips that get made automatically for us. So you're welcome, YouTube people, because now you're getting whatever they're called, reels coming out. But I was listening back to one of our ones, and it was us talking about the fact that you can't play slow builds in PoE 2, and I don't. You were talking about something with regards to getting swarmed, like in Delirium, and I don't know that they're moving. I kind of watched it going like, man, don't be such a bitch, Justin. Like, of course you have to always make the fastest and the biggest screen clear, but that's like a really PoE1 mentality, and they really tried to break away from that with PoE2. And I don't
That
know
was
if
the
that's
idea, yeah.
changed over the last year because people, people didn't like the speed of the game and people blah blah blah. So I am a little bit curious what their hope and direction is for it, because I don't mind. I don't mind having to be. I do prefer being faster. I don't like being slower, but I don't need to have all the fights be sort of meaningless, where I'm just doing whatever I can to clear out the screen.
Sure.
But you can't make the mobs infinitely harder if you're not going to give. I don't know. Like, I would rather try some defensive builds. I just don't like the Lich was awesome because you can play it defensively, but you have to have some damage to offset that, because otherwise nothing's going to die. It's where I ran into a problem with the plant build. Was I was tanky, great, but like I was taking a long time to kill stuff. And I don't know if it was because it was taking a long time in comparison to what I'd been doing with the previous builds that maybe were killing bosses faster, but um the Lich and the what was the mercenary that I played? The witch hunter. Those are the two funnest tanky builds that I've played ever in PoE2, and they're not a warrior wearing massive armor. And I just don't feel like I want to play a big chunky beefcake warrior, and maybe be a little bit slower, but at least feel like I'm not losing to everybody else because I want to sit here for 6 seconds while my earthquake's about to pop through the ground.
Yeah.
So I don't know what their direction is. It's very confusing to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I've been really tempted to play Smith of Katava, but with minions. But I require, because of the attribute requirements, I need to spend all my attributes on the highway onto intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
But I just can't. Like, it's 15 nodes away from starting my tree. You know what I mean? Just
What
that,
would you get
that
out of
travel
Smith
to get there.
Katava that you wouldn't get out of something like the Witch?
The defense that I don't have to. I could have my whole tree minions and offense
Mm-hmm.
if I could be the Smith of Katava.
You think
But
all
then
that
basically
because
that
of
cost me a 15-point investment.
you think all that because of the Smith Katava ascendancy?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, so the starting nodes, of course, are what takes me to get to like the starting point of where my
Mm-hmm.
tree would actually start, all the travel nodes. But Smith of Katava just has enough. And even if I'm just using a normal energy shield base, all my other stuff's going to be energy shield, right? So I'll have that, but then I'll have the defenses of 200 flat armor for each notable that I'm taking down there. And that's going to be more than enough for the little stuns that, the little massive damage chunks that I'm taking while I'm leveling. And then of course then you get like sweet curse defense, and then you get the immune to crits, and
Hmm.
like it's nice, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things in there where I could just go pure offense on my tree if I could start there, but it's going to cost me the 15 nodes. Of course, an ascendancy, but those are that's an ascendancy that actually excites me.
I think
Then
you
there's
could
another
do
part.
it, sorry, as tanky and or maybe more with the Lich, but you have to be able to push somehow to get that energy shield to make it where it works. And that isn't, and the actual honest truth is you need uniques, because you need to have percentage of damage bypasses energy shield. Like you just,
Mhm.
that is, it's the same with when I'm playing on my monkey build. I need as many companions as possible because I need to put loyalty on them, because I need to, that's my form of defense, is let them take the damage. So for the Lich, it
Yeah.
did require some uniques.
Yeah, and I have no problem with uniques. They just got dropped for me. I
Mm-hmm.
play Soul Self-Found, right? So if one drops for me, that's cool. I like that. I like the idea of the shaman, that extra 120 spirit, flat
Mm.
spirit's really nice, because to me charms
Is that the one that you get
can.
to see different things on the tree?
No, that's the
Oracle
oracle or
or
whatever
something?
he's
Yeah,
called.
yeah. Mm.
The shaman's the one that also has was it absorption or whatever it's called? Where it's like the highest damage you take elemental, you get
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah.
reduced.
I don't know what it's
Did you
called.
play with that at all
Mm-mm.
at some point?
I played when I played like I don't remember what I did. I think, man, I don't remember.
Hmm.
Can't remember at all.
It also has the bonded modifiers as well for once you actually have gear with sockets and all that kind of stuff. So
Do you know what
it's
the
cool.
bonded thing will do before Or is it only
I've never selected it, but no, there's just this hidden list somewhere. Hopefully you're able to tell ahead of time. I'm sure you can. It's probably on all the runes. I would sure hope so anyway. But yeah, like my brain's been in theory crafting mode. I'm just trying to find, like, I'm in that awkward stage where it's like there's stuff I want to do, but I can't do it. So how can I get there closely and still enjoy the gameplay? For some reason, I keep coming back to zombies because that's me doing my casting, and the empowered zombies are so strong. So, and I don't even need to have defense for them. So it allows me to open up the tree. And I really love curses because curse investment allows me to have, it's both damage and defense, right? But it's a lot of casting. If you want curses, well, but then I miss out on, like, it's a lot though to have 3 curses with blasphemy.
I only have 1. Yeah, I only had your favorite one.
I could do 2, and so here's the thing: but then I start thinking, okay, well, like I'm with zombies, and that's primarily physical damage. And funny enough, detonate dead, despite the fact that it has added fire damage, when you have a decent amount of minion life, the minion life explosion is actually all physical damage.
Yep.
And then there's just a separate thing that's fire damage from detonate dead. But the amount of damage that's done compared to the minion life, it's like 5 times more physical damage than it is fire damage. So I'm just going to go with physical damage, right? Like I can put heft on it for, you know what I mean? But now I'm doing all physical damage. Okay, fine, that's cool. But the physical damage spell or curse is vulnerability, and all that does is reduce armor. Well, I don't.
Why does it have to be the vulnerability curse? What would be the reason that it has to be that curse?
Well, so if I have 3 curses, I'm going to go enfeeble and temporal chains, right? And then the other one's a damage one.
I see.
If I'm doing all physical damage, I'm going to do vulnerability, but all vulnerability does is remove the defense of physical damage, but not every boss has armor. So it's a wasted investment for that, right? So then maybe I only go with 2. 2 curses. Yeah. Because I don't really care for vulnerability in its state for reducing armor.
Yeah, you definitely like the curses different. Though my benefit of the temp chains with the curse is just the explosion. The clear is faster because of the lich node that cursed enemies explode. And so temp chains is great.
Pardon me?
And temp chains is great. Like you're slowing things around you. So,
but then when I do blasphemy, you know what I feel like I need to do? Chronomancer.
For what reason?
Well, because then they have that slow aura, right? That's slow, and it's slow, but it's not a curse, so I don't get the penalty from blasphemy. But then I feel like I need to invest in the aura nodes, right? Which are quite
like
ways
right
out
back
of the
into
way.
0.1.
And then I'm like, okay, but now if I'm going Chronomancer with minions, I'm missing out on that 104% increased minion damage and a tiny bit of the revive.
Which you would have been though if you went with the Smith Katava.
Right. So then is that worth the slow?
I mean, yes. Has to be.
Right? But then if I have all this as blasphemy, then I have very little left over for my skeletons, which are with sacrifice. And then it's taken me a long time to get my power charges up.
Well, blasphemy is what, 30 or is it 60?
60 per curse. But
then
you add quality. Heightened curse.
But you can also quality it too.
And slow. A slow potency. And you're like, okay. Now it's a lot. And then I had sacrifice, and all of a sudden I can only have two skeletons left over. And they take forever to come back because of sacrifice. So just find like all the ideas that I have. I'm not saying it's a bad game design. I'm just saying my ideas are handcuffed by what the skills limitations are, right? Either a spirit cost or needing to be on both weapon sets or the penalty in revive time. Like it all just kind of adds up. And sure, some of this is my like hyper focus on like, okay, if I'm doing slow with blasphemy, well, I'm going to be the Chronomancer because they already have the natural aura. But then I feel like I need to invest in aura stuff. Like that's just me not wanting to do it halfway. You know what I mean? So, but that is also just the things that interest me, right? I have a really tough time doing temporal chains without taking those 2 slow clusters that aren't curse specific, they're slow specific.
Is it just because you're doing it and you don't feel like you're just fully doing it? Is that why you don't want to half-ass the curse?
Well, you'll be proud of me. The current curse investment one I have, I do not have investment into those 2 slow potency clusters. At 6% slow, Justin. 6% slow on a boss that I'm missing out on.
It's still, even with the normal base level, feels way better.
Just saying.
You don't even need it. I'm trying to find out. It's not blasphemy, because blasphemy increases the magnitude of them. But is it the actual curses themselves where quality decreases the reservation? There's a way to decrease the reservation.
No, it doesn't decrease the reservation anymore.
What? Get out of here.
No, there's very little that actually, outside of uniques, that decreases reservation.
No, quality on blasphemy is increased reservation efficiency of skills. So at 20, you would have a 10% increased reservation. I wonder what that puts it down to. Like, what does that attempt change from being? If it was 60 before, then it would be,
hang on,
54?
Quality on temp chains is curse magnitude. I think all of them are like that.
I don't know.
Blasphemy, you said? 10% increased reservation efficiency.
Right. So you would
it's
have
minor, but it's helpful. But I mean, when I'm dealing with spirit, it's like, okay, I have 47 spirit and I'm using this thing that's going to cost 30 and I have 17 spirit left over. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not min-maxing it to the minor number because I don't know what that's going to be.
Well, I think the tough thing too is you're not trying to min-max it, but you're trying to figure out a way to make it work as you're leveling, and my brain is going, well, first off, this doesn't work while you're leveling, but I'm just thinking, like, if you have, which isn't super difficult to do, 300 spirit, you're talking for your three things, roughly half of it is being used up for 3 curses.
If I'm doing that, yeah, but I plan around not having 300 spirit to begin with.
I know.
Like, I need the build to work without
to
300
get there.
spirit.
Sure.
And if I get more than 200 spirit, that's great. Like, if you get a scepter that's like, oh, this is increasing this part of my, hello, doggy and crotch. Well, hey, if I can function with 200, like, let's say I get a scepter that has like increased, I don't know, 27 spirit. Okay, cool. Like, now I have 27 spirit, but now I get another scepter that's better in another attribute, and I'm like, oh, that's actually worth the 21, but now I got to get rid of that. Like, I want the build to be able to function without the bonus, but the bonus is just obviously a sweet bonus. But with loading my curse efficiency spreadsheet here. Yeah, right now, if I was to do blasphemy, the slow on a boss, on a unique enemy, is 16%, where self-casted is double. If I was to fully invest in all of it, not that. Now, this is like a significant portion of everything. The 2 tree slow clusters, the 3 presence auras, and then 5 clusters for curses. I'm ignoring the one that deals with curse duration because it's blasphemy. And then also having the 2 gems for efficiency. We're jumping up the curse. The curse would go from 30 to 38, and blasphemy would count as a 26% slow against uniques. It just doesn't seem. But then I would have the chronomancer on top of that, and the chronomancer's at 19.5. So then all of a sudden, that basically goes from 25 and 20 to 45% slow if I'm the chronomancer, but only 25 if I'm not. Those things eat at me, Justin. That's like my entire tree for like 9%.
I didn't do anything into curses with mine. I just threw it on so that shit would explode when I killed them.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. When does blasphemy unlock? Do you remember?
Is it a 13 skill gem? It's higher than it should be. I don't remember what it is, but it's, yeah.
Anyway, I enjoy the theory crafting of it. It's just tough for me. Like, I've restarted many different characters because I'm getting bored with my characters. So I don't know if that's a me thing, or if that's something that if there's a lot of people that feel like that, like me, then it's a GGG thing. Like, they just gotta, and not like a criticism. It's just, you create something, you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe we've got to change this or this or this, and maybe that helps.
What makes you not bored though? What would make you not bored playing that build?
Well, that's the thing. Like, that's where I can't really say it's a criticism, because like, I don't know what I would change. Like, one of my ideas did work, but only the part that I didn't care about the build, right? And so I want something that I can interact with. But like, I'm trying to find a good clear skill, and then a good single target skill. And I just find that, I guess I find at the end of the day, they're not really my ideas. Like I come up with an idea, but then because of restrictions for whatever good reasons the company might have for making them, I find that at the end of the day, I'm not making my idea. I'm making something that revolves around all the different rules that exist. And so I'm by the end of the day, the character that I'm making is nothing close to what I was hoping to do with my character because of either efficiency or how it functions, or I guess interacts and coincides with other skills and things like that, right? So that's all. I'd love to use zombies, but the revive time is a big pain with sacrifice. So it's kind of like one or the other, not both. So we'll see.
Why do you say, when you say with sacrifice, what do you mean?
Well, sacrifice just makes it that I have to use it on both weapon sets, but sacrifice decreases or increases the cooldown time of reviving minions. And so, sure, I could do permanent minions, but I mean, empowered zombies don't need defense, so I could just do them instead of a permanent build, right?
Man,
so I just kind of find like how it all interacts, just kind of like, well, it just makes sense to do this, but that wasn't my idea.
I remember having so much fun the first time I played The Witch going with Reavers, like just having a ton of those little freaking axe dudes.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, and they cost a very small amount of spirit, which I like. But I always end up going with gigantic. I love that gigantic cluster. I think it's really cool, especially with temporary minions. It's like free gigantics.
Right.
Anyway, I actually had a really good week. I'm just trying to find something that it's my idea, because it's my ideas that interest me, and my ideas are what carry my interest level, right? So I'm just trying to find something that, I don't know, maybe I guess the final point is I feel like I'm having to try too hard to have one of my ideas actually come to life. It's too much in the way.
I see. Well, want to end this with me telling you how to roll a 5-socket jewel, because I did find it. So here's what you need to do. You get 2 suffixes of choice. So 2 suffixes that you like on the jewel. Okay. And then you fill the prefixes. Already I'm like, got this. I can do this. No problem. I understand how to do this part. 50-50, an emotion that lets you add a prefix or a suffix. I'm going to read the rest real fast because I don't know any of the rest of this. 50-50, an emotion that lets you add prefix or suffix. Desecrate plus omen loop until 3rd good suffix. Then you chaos orb off the +1 suffix and spam till you hit a good prefix. Then you 50-50, 60% suffix effect. I don't have a clue what the rest of that stuff meant. It sounds cool, but that's how you make them. So, next time you need a jewel, come talk to me. I'll help you out.
Yeah, with my 3 chaos orbs, I will get on that.
I've never used a chaos orb in PoE 2. I probably should. I don't even totally know what they do. Don't they like remove one modifier and add another? Am I missing that? I don't get it. What is the good part of that?
I don't see its value. It's like
they're very expensive though. I don't get it.
I don't know.
Maybe you're using, it's probably the other combo of the thing I told you about the other day where they're like locking in omens and doing all these other crazy stuff before they do it.
Sure.
So
I've had an omen that's waiting to be used with my Exalt. It's going to add 2.
2 more.
2.
I know what you're
I'm like,
about. Oh, it's
crafting
coming.
pro right here. I got this. I'm going to use it on like a really crappy amulet, hoping for another 7% lightning res.
Mm-hmm. You're going to nail it. That omen's going to be so worth it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's wrap this up. Forever Exiled 351. I'm Justin AK Tags.
I'm Tyler, Wrecker of Days.
Patrons will catch you in After Dark. Everybody else, we'll see you next week, 352. Have a good one.